Hi.
How are you?
Hydrating. I'm trying to hydrate. I'm good though.
Good.
Today's a
I was.
beautiful day here in New York. The weather's great. Not that we can all enjoy it, but
It is 85 in Atlanta. I got out. It was really messing with my sinuses, but it was just nice to be outside.
yeah, it is. I'm sure it is. Did you get to go for a walk? Do you walk around?
So I walked around my subdivision, and a lot of people were out social distancing, but walking
Yeah.
their dogs and stuff. It's so important for us to get out, even with all of this going on. Because
Yeah, I
the
agree.
vitamin D, it really helps us, and it puts us in a better mood. And so those sunny days, because it's been raining a lot in Atlanta. So Lord have mercy, we got to take care of, and take advantage of the sunny days. Where's your
Yeah, I
dog?
know. I feel like my mood changes when it's cloudy. And when it's like, I can always, even before the blinds go up, I can always tell when it's a cloudy day. And I'm always like, oh. And then when the sun is up, my whole spirit and energy just feels that much more alive.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, thank you again. I know you got a lot going on, even with the quarantine.
Yeah,
You
it's
are
crazy.
staying busy, but I just really wanted to start off by checking in to see how your family was doing.
Everyone's good, as good as it's going to be. We're in the middle of a renovation, so I'm kind of set up shop at my in my construction site.
Okay.
So our home dwellings are quite small right now until the renovations are done. But it's
Hmm.
one day at a time. We're just fortunate enough to be no one's sick, and we're
That's
praying
good.
that that stays that way. And
Hmm.
um, you know, we try to look at the bright side all the time, but everyone's hanging in there. Obviously, the kids, they have to get used to this. They like going to school, that's their
Yeah.
socialization. So I think that part was a little difficult, but
Yeah.
we're hanging in there.
Aisha says hi, June. What's up,
Hi,
Aisha?
Aisha. Oh, and
Good morning.
Beebu's on. Hi, Beebu.
Hi.
Beebu, I
So,
need you on my 4 o'clock show. It's Fashion Friday. It's Fashion and Fitness Friday on my. I go live right after I finish talking to you. So,
oh, we got to
um,
talk about that. All right. So I
yeah,
know you don't have a lot of time. So let me get back into the other questions.
yes.
Tell me, what do you do for your daily self-care regimen? I know you do the dancing even when you're on the road, and I gotta tell you, one time I was like, should I really try to stand up on this suitcase? Probably not, because
I should
you're tinier than I am.
I should probably say, do not try this at home because, that takes practice, and I don't
I
want anyone
know,
to get hurt and be like Judy Ambrose,
but it
and
gave
I'm
me
getting
so much
sued.
life. But what do you do kind of on a
I
regular
think
basis?
I think meditation is really helpful.
Hmm.
I think I started kind of getting into meditation and kind of more wellness top of the year, really focusing on it more. I mean,
Hmm.
last year's journey with me going last 2 years of me going plant-based, that
Hmm.
was one other thing. But then you
Okay.
kind of need other things to supplement, like our fast-paced lives. You just need to kind of
Hmm.
be able to kind of deal with the anxiety. There's so much going on.
Hmm.
And I was starting to feel really anxious. So I think that, meditation and group therapy sessions, like-minded people,
Hmm.
are really nice to have. And just like, call someone you can talk to. I think those are
Hmm.
really important. I'm very extroverted. I like to, hang out and talk with people. So for me, that's therapy too, talking to someone who's like-minded and who's
Yeah.
upbeat and happy.
Yep.
I always tell people that, you know, therapy doesn't have to be so clinical, you
Right.
know, find
Yeah.
your happy place.
That's right.
I think even on your worst day, if you can just kind of tap into that happy place, whether it's
Hmm.
a childhood, like, memory, a sense
Hmm.
memory that you can tap into, that's
Hmm.
therapeutic.
Absolutely.
Using your mobile devices, for breathing exercises,
Hmm.
really kind of getting out that oxygen into your body, that's
Hmm.
therapeutic.
Hmm.
It could be cooking, it could be dancing. So all the things that I kind of really love to do that I feel like, that makes me happy. I try to kind of, especially in the time of quarantine, you try to do those things. If it's watching a great movie that makes
Hmm.
you laugh or makes you
Hmm.
cry, because
Yes,
crying is good too,
it
you
is. And
know.
laughter is so good. That's why I watch your videos, because I swear I'm always laughing, but in a good way, because your spirit is so infectious, and I just celebrate you and applaud you for that, because I think that's what everyone loves about you is you always It's like we feel like we're sitting right there with you, right? We're right there
Oh,
in
that
your
makes me
room,
feel good.
dancing right there with you. So I really applaud you for that. Let me ask you a question. When you went plant-based, did you find that that helped you from a kind of mental wellness perspective in terms of how you felt
Totally.
every day?
Totally. I think, when you make a drastic change in your lifestyle like that, no matter what it
Mm-hmm.
is, whether you stop smoking or drinking, whatever,
Yep.
it's so mental.
Mm-hmm.
And there was so much going on in my life at the time when I decided to take that leap.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it really challenges you to kind of see where your strengths are,
Yeah.
and also reconditions your thoughts, and it helps you to kind of like it's mind over matter. Because I used to be like, I need to have protein with this meal.
Yeah.
I'm like, I need. But then when you kind of tap into the psychology of it all, you really don't need it. You want it,
Right. Mm-hmm.
right? So it's like kind of challenging yourself to deal with the things that you need in life and the things that you
Mm-hmm.
want.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
um, yeah, that kind of helped when I realized that I kind of just didn't necessarily need it. I just wanted it.
I love
Um,
that.
so
So one
yeah.
of the things also, I started the organization Silence to Shame, and a lot of what we do is to try to erase stigma. And I think a lot of people during the self-quarantine are dealing with a lot of emotional health and wellness, right? Challenges, or noticing new things probably about themselves that they were never
Mm.
aware of. How important is it that we talk about mental health, particularly in the African-American community? I know you're great friends with Dr. Jess, who you introduced me
Yes.
to last year at the Rock Nation
Have you
Awards.
guys stayed in touch?
We have. I know
Good.
she has a lot going on, but I'm hoping I can get her on one of these soon.
Yeah.
But I follow all the wonderful, amazing work that she's doing to kind of talk about the importance of recognizing your emotional health and wellness and not being afraid to deal with it.
Yeah, I think, part of, when people think about being successful and being happy,
Mm-hmm.
they take the mental aspect out of it for some strange reason. They don't
Yeah.
necessarily think about it that way.
Mm-hmm.
And you
Mm-hmm.
put so much emphasis on the accomplishment or being able to achieve this.
Yeah.
And I think that when we see that there's someone that's struggling, and like we've kind of, like what you're doing, like you're saying, I had this experience. You didn't have to be public about
Mm-hmm.
your experience and where you were. And quite often, especially in our industry, we're always so like, oh, I'm busy, I'm doing this. And it's kind of a lot of me, 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 me. I think the beauty in this quarantine has really allowed us to kind of look at each other,
Mm-hmm.
call, tap in, check in.
Mm-hmm.
And you're right, like we are, like there's a lot of just, I always encourage people to kind of, solitude is good. Having some time alone is really good. You kind of reconnect with yourself and tap into the things that may be going on in your brain, and because all of our tabs are always open.
Right.
So, I think it's important that you recognize when someone may not ask you for help, but they need it, and
Mm-hmm.
us not make them feel like they should have to ask us for the help. I think that
Mm-hmm.
part's kind of makes it easier too.
Yep.
And having these really open conversations about, if you're struggling, it's okay. It's not, some people can't even control,
Right.
not being able to get out of bed, or just really feeling sad all the time.
Yeah.
So I think we all need a sponsor. Like when I went plant-based, I had a sponsor. Like, you have, whether you may have a partner or, children, whoever, just be honest with them, and just,
Mm-hmm.
really allow them to help you
Mm-hmm.
along the way when you feel like you're struggling, that it's okay to be vulnerable and to take that help.
It's funny because you call it a sponsor, I say accountability partner, or like I ask people like, who's in your starting five? Like,
Mm.
the funny thing is we all have like girlfriends and guy friends that like we hang out with for different reasons, right? So some of your girlfriends may not want to go to the opera, they may not want to go shopping with you, or you can't travel with everybody, right? Because everybody's different and we have our own little idiosyncrasies. But I
Yeah.
tell people like figure out like who's in your top five from a wellness perspective. Like I was having a moment and I felt like a panic attack was coming on a few days ago, and I called my best friend and we FaceTime, and we immediately started laughing because I've known her since the 6th grade. But I knew that she was one of that go-to person that would really put me automatically in a different place and space. So I think that's really
Yeah.
important that you have a sponsor, you have partners that help you out on a regular basis.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Very important.
I think it's half the battle.
It is. Okay, so two more quick questions. So yeah, wellness. This came about on really over the weekend, and you talked about sitting still, right, and having that quiet time. And I was listening to the Holy Spirit tell me, like, keep using your platform. I know, like, I had speaking gigs that got canceled and different things, and I was frustrated and trying to figure out, like, what can I still do to support people. And so I came up with Yeah Wellness, and it's really about mind, body, spirit, but I added business to it, right? Because when your business isn't well, when your finances isn't well, that really takes a toll on your health physically and
Yeah, it's scary.
So
Yeah.
what can you tell our entrepreneurs today that they can do in terms of utilizing this time to really plan or restructure or kind of focus on some of their businesses or side hustles?
Yeah, I mean, I think you just said, you said a key word, plan. I think planning, and this is a really nice time. And also, most entrepreneurs don't stop. So I think this kind of a little break, we never get a week or 2 weeks to kind of,
Yeah.
unless we're taking a vacation. Some of us just can't really afford to stop, but I think it's important to just stop and just regroup. And there's so many things that we kind of put off that can grow our business or our brand that we can't do because we're in it.
Yep.
So I think it's important that we utilize this, see the positive in this time down, strategize and plot and talk to as many people as you can, because this is going to be over and it's going to get really busy because everyone's going to have to catch up. Think about all the things that are going to have to just kick into gear, especially in the film and fashion industry and all that stuff. Everyone's going to be really trying to play catch up. So
that's right.
Yeah, I think that it's like now it's time to look at your investments, look at the things that you can kind of like really kind of reconfigure, and then plot on what on what's next.
That's
Just
right.
don't live in the now, because most of us always kind of live in the now because we're busy. Yeah.
Yep. Great tips. And my last question for you, because I know you're about to go live. So you guys make sure at 4:00. Is it 4:00 LA time or East Coast time?
No, 4:00 East Coast time. So 1:00 specific. Yeah, what's that? We're Pacific Coast time is LA.
Yes.
But 4:00 here in New York City. So yeah.
Okay. So one last question for June before she goes live, and make sure you guys tune into her page shortly. Favorite movie, favorite album. I know we've all been, social distancing with D Nice, and he's taking us back. But like, what's your go-to movie that like puts you in a good mood, or album automatically?
Oh man, first of all, there's so much good content online right now. I made sure that I watched The Banker. That was amazing.
Okay.
The movie CJ Walker, Madam CJ Walker was outstanding. That was so much fun to watch. But these are new movies, right? So like one of like an archive movie.
Yeah.
Look Who's Coming to Dinner.
I love that movie.
Yeah, I know.
So good.
I love like The Wiz and stuff like that, and Color Purple.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love like Lady Sings the Blues and all. The glamour movies.
And favorite album?
Well, it's Diana Ross's birthday, so I'm like listening to this week. Franklin's birthday, and like I like all the old divas and stuff like that. What you want, baby? I got it. And like I'm the boss, and I like all that stuff.
Awesome. Well,
but that Jay Electronica album is pretty powerful too.
Oh, is it? I haven't heard that one.
Yeah, it's really good. Hit the one that Jay-Z and Jay Electronica just did. It's really good.
Nice. I gotta check that out.
It's super powerful.
Okay. Like lyrically?
Everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we know whatever the two of them do anyway is always great. So amazing collaboration. Well, thank you so much for being on here today.
All right.
I really appreciate you, and I wish you and your family the best.
Thank you. Thank you for doing this. I think this is awesome.
Thank you.
We'll stay in touch.
Okay. Bye.